Imagine that you're holding a burning piece of coal in your palms. With each step, your hands burn more, and the pain in your skin becomes unbearable. This heat comes from your efforts to warm others' lives through sacrifice. Yet this effort only brings you pain and exhaustion. In today's world, this is a reality for many. Kindness at times becomes a burden instead of joy, a source of pain rather than a beacon of hope. When people are constantly expected to sacrifice themselves for others, the challenge of maintaining balance becomes inevitable. It is at this point that an ancient teaching, which can be defined as a philosophy of inner balance and peace, comes to our aid. This teaching tells us that you cannot light up the world by disregarding your own happiness. Goodness can only grow on the foundation of personal strength and well-being. It emphasizes that you must not forget yourself while helping others. It is about learning to feel abundance within before giving until you are emptied. Take a moment and imagine that you're holding the piece of coal with protective gloves. Now your hands aren't burning, and the coal you carry doesn't feel like a burden. Instead, with this heat, you can warm yourself and safely light up others. This is a symbol of sharing with the world while preserving your inner strength. Kindness need not be a sacrifice that drains you, but an extension of your own energy. On this path, ancient wisdom guides us. It suggests we touch the world not until we are exhausted, but by creating a source of strength within. It reminds us that every act of kindness is not a duty, but a choice. The foundation of true generosity lies in maintaining strong self-care and inner peace. It's possible to learn how to light the world without harming yourself or depleting your energy, instead of having a concept of kindness that wears you out. Let's embark on this inner journey together. Let's discover how to keep the fire within us strong and how to share its light safely. Let's learn together how kindness can transform from exhaustion into a source of power. Ancient wisdom teaches us that we must not only light others but ourselves too. Under the guidance of your inner fire, it's time to redefine your kindness and warm the world. 1. Unable to say no. Imagine standing by a lake. The surface of the water reflects the sky like a mirror. Everything is calm and peaceful. In your hands, you hold stones with the word yes written on them. These stones represent the promises you make, the agreements you enter, and the commitments you take on. Each stone, when it falls into the water, creates ripples, disturbing the stillness. Each yes is a wave, a disturbance that affects your inner peace and spiritual tranquility. This is the essence of saying yes when you want to say no. This small word carries the weight of mountains and can change the course of your destiny. When you say yes out of obligation, you make the weight of your life a little heavier. This weight not only pulls you down physically, but also emotionally and spiritually. When you accept something you don't want, you feel a heaviness in your chest. It's like an invisible barrier before a deep breath. You grow increasingly tired and drift farther from your essence. You may feel as if you've turned into a shadow of who you once were. Imagine someone at work who tries to meet every demand, takes on every project, and rushes to help everyone. No matter how tired, worn out, or sick they are, they never stop helping. This person could be you, or someone you know, constantly giving but never receiving enough. This person, whose kindness is exploited by everyone, unknowingly exhausts their own internal reserves. The kindness they show gradually becomes a cost, and in the end, it only leaves burnout. At this point, the importance of inner boundaries becomes clear. Building gentle yet firm boundaries to protect yourself is a path to salvation. Stoic wisdom says that protecting your resources strengthens your ability to give meaningfully. Imagine building a fence around your soul. This fence doesn't shut out the world, but it protects your most valuable parts. Learning to say no is the first step in building this fence. It may feel foreign, even selfish at first, but it is vital for sustainable generosity and self-care. Every no is a yes to yourself. It's a decision to protect your future energy and generosity by saying no to the things that drain you. So start small. Accept the discomfort of saying no. Embrace this feeling. Remind yourself that you don't have to accept everyone's request. Stoicism suggests strengthening your will rather than giving in to the easy way, choosing to grow in the face of discomfort. Every no is a step toward a more authentic and fulfilling life. This journey is woven with carefully chosen decisions, and that small no can lift a weight from your shoulders and give you a sense of lightness and freedom. It not only prevents burnout, but also ensures that your future gifts will be offered with true kindness, full of light and warmth. Remember, saying no is not a rejection. It's a way to protect your inner strength, joy, and life energy. When you say no, you are actually saying yes to yourself, and this is the greatest freedom. 2. Inability to set boundaries. In the vast fabric of life, each of us is like a thread bound to one another with invisible ties. Every interaction has the potential to either strengthen or weaken the fabric. However, failing to set boundaries is like leaving this thread loose and unbound. With every passing person, you are pulled, stretched, and eventually brought to the brink of breaking. Like a silent thief, the lack of boundaries steals your time, energy, and essence. You begin to feel like a tool used for others' desires, while your own dreams and aspirations are drowned in the cacophony of endless demands. This situation turns into a constant hum in the background of your mind. The tasks you undertake feel foreign. Like the notes of a dissonant melody, they disturb your inner peace. The natural joy of helping others gets lost in the relentless waves of excessive attachments. As you drift through an ocean of obligations, you gradually find yourself burned out. The Stoics understood that our most valuable resource is not material wealth, but time. Time is limited, irreplaceable. How we spend it directly affects our well-being. Saying yes to everyone indirectly means saying no to yourself, to relaxation, growth, and your passions. Seneca, in his Letters on Ethics, says, "People are so foolish that when they take something worthless and replaceable, they feel indebted. But when they take the only thing that cannot be repaid, time, they feel no debt." Stoicism offers a path forward. Imagine a sieve on the desert. All demands pass through it, and only the truly valuable ones remain. Ask yourself, is this request aligned with who I am and what I value? Does it leave room for my own needs? This is not selfishness, it is sustainability. Taking care of yourself does not exclude taking care of others. They are two sides of the same coin. How can you practically apply this understanding in your life? For instance, imagine being asked to volunteer for a task at work or within your family. Instead of automatically saying yes, pause. Take a deep breath and reflect. Review your current commitments. If you are unable to take on the task, offer a compromise or suggest an alternative solution that won't overwhelm you. This balanced kindness is not about rejecting others, it's about embracing your own values and boundaries. Setting boundaries may initially feel strange or difficult. Saying no may conflict with social pressures and lead to feelings of guilt. But it is an act of kindness toward both yourself and others. Because a worn-out, resentful version of yourself is not the greatest gift you can give to those around you. Saying no is the key to existing in a fuller, more joyful way while preserving your essence. Protect your inner desert and nurture your spark. Use your time and energy consciously. Remember, true generosity only blossoms when your inner reserves are full. Boundaries enhance the quality of the gifts you offer to both yourself and others. This is not just a no, it is a yes that opens the door to a deeper, more fulfilling life. So do not be afraid to say no. This small word will add more freedom, peace, and meaning to your life. The way to continue lighting up the world without depleting yourself begins here. 3. Compromising your personal care. Imagine two gardeners. The first one takes great care of his own garden, constantly aerating the soil, regularly watering the plants, and pruning the branches so they can see the sun. His garden looks lush. The colors of the flowers shine, and the fruits are ripe and sweet. This gardener not only meets his own needs, but also has an abundance that he can generously offer to others. The other gardener, however, is always running around helping others. He fixes a friend's fence, waters a neighbor's garden, but neglects his own. Over time, his garden turns into an infertile plot of land. The soil cracks, the plants wither, and the fruits rot. While helping others, he is slowly draining his own essence. Every selfless act of giving is like a leaf extending from a tree's branches, offering a piece of the world. However, for the leaves to stay lush, the tree's roots must be nourished deeply. Taking care of yourself is like providing water and sunlight to the tree's roots. This is never a selfish act. On the contrary, it is the foundation of a productive and sustainable life. The Stoics understood the consequences of consistently putting others' needs ahead of your own. They realized that neglecting self-care, like a tree slowly shedding its leaves, depletes your life energy. This exhaustion comes quietly. It starts as a whisper, with the rustling of leaves falling from the branches. A voice inside you says, "I can't offer any more." Imagine a teapot. Every cup of tea is like a gift. It warms people's hands, perhaps even their souls. But when the teapot is empty, there is no more tea to pour. In this situation, the teapot becomes a symbol of exhaustion. Your ability to give is completely gone. This is why self-care is so important. Without replenishing your own inner teapot, you cannot give something you do not have. As a philosophy that advocates balance and wisdom, Stoicism emphasizes the importance of taking care of yourself. Paying attention to your own needs is the cornerstone of being able to better serve others. When you neglect your own well-being, your ability to help others diminishes. Self-care is not just a gift to yourself, it is a gift to those around you as well. So how can you refill your teapot? Restful solitude, a nourishing meal, a creative pursuit, or simply taking a deep breath in silence. Each of these can be a small but powerful touch that re-energizes you. Self-care is not an indulgence, it is an act of sustainability. With a refreshed mind and spirit, it becomes possible to experience true generosity. This generosity does not stem from depletion, but from abundance. Remember, the better you care for yourself, the better you can help others. Nourish your roots, honor your needs, because true generosity comes from inner balance and renewed energy. Discover the way to give wholeheartedly, without compromising yourself. 4. Taking on the responsibilities of others. In the garden of life, we are all both gardeners and flowers. We witness not only our own growth but also the development of others. We touch their lives and offer support when needed. However, neglecting our own flower while watering others' gardens does not benefit either party in the long run. This can deny them the opportunity to strengthen their own roots and stretch their branches toward the sun. Taking on the burdens of others with good intentions prevents them from discovering their own strength. Yes, caring and loving support can cause flowers to bloom temporarily. But remember, when we step away, they must learn to cling to the soil with their own roots to prevent the flowers from wilting. Think of a butterfly trying to emerge from its cocoon. Inside, its wings are still crumpled and weak. It must struggle. If you intervene with good intentions and open the cocoon, you may not realize that you are robbing the butterfly of the chance to gain strength through that struggle. The butterfly cannot fly because it must go through the tough process to prepare its wings for flight. Similarly, constantly trying to solve others' problems robs them of the opportunity to develop their own resilience. Every rescue attempt, whether intended or not, sends the message, you can't do this on your own. However, true support is not this. True support is standing by someone and giving them the confidence. You can do this. Discover your own power. Finding this balance is a delicate art. Imagine yourself not as a savior, but as a guide. Instead of providing all the answers, ask questions. Rather than solving every problem, support them in finding their own solutions. Allow them to stumble, because every fall is a learning moment. Remember, individuals only grow through their own struggles. Ancient teachings remind us that everything is interconnected, and each person is a part of this grand design. True support does not cast shadows on others' light. On the contrary, it illuminates their path. Sometimes stepping back means allowing them to make mistakes, learn, and grow. This is an act of faith, a belief in their potential, in their ability to find their own way. This approach not only fosters their development, but also enables your own growth. It grants you the freedom to continue on your own journey. Sharing life is not about becoming dependent on each other. It's about creating a greater unity through mutual support. True support involves offering tools and resources, sharing examples from experiences, and celebrating small victories. It requires believing that others can do it, rather than doing it for them and reminding them of their strength. Empowering others is a much greater gift than providing a temporary solution. Witnessing their transformation and seeing how their wings grow stronger with each victory they achieve on their own is more fulfilling than anything. With every challenge, both they and you grow. Over time, a more resilient, more confident future is built. And in that garden, each flower grows with its own light, nourished by the strength from its own roots. 5. Pitying toxic people. On the journey of life, we often cross paths with individuals whose presence drains the color from our world. Toxic people are like painful thorns we cling to. This is a noble yet misguided form of compassion, and it can be caused by judgment. Here, our well-being is sacrificed in the hope of changing someone else. This becomes an overwhelming weight, like an empathy cloak that becomes too heavy to carry. Tolerating toxicity for the sake of compassion manifests as a constant unease. It feels like a shadow that appears over even the brightest moments. When interacting with them, tension settles in your shoulders, and when they leave, you experience a sense of relief, only to be followed by guilt. Your emotional reserves deplete, and you feel like you're pouring your energy into an abyss, hoping to fill it, but finding only a bottomless void. The cost is heavy. Your peace, joy, and the power to grow in a nurturing environment diminishes. Stoicism reminds us that another virtue must balance compassion, wisdom. Without fuel, the fire cannot burn. True change is personal, and we must not forget that emotional well-being is not something to be sacrificed for the potential transformation of another person. Imagine being proud of being a good person. You're listening to a friend, always surrounded by drama and negativity, trying to help. Yet despite all your efforts, their behavior doesn't change, and you find yourself emotionally drained, trying to soothe your life in the midst of chaos. This scenario serves as a powerful reminder that you cannot walk the path of support. Under the guise of pity, tolerating destructive behaviors begins to erode your inner peace. This is a war you cannot win. Negativity, manipulation, and refusing responsibility pollute the air you breathe. Naturally, your generous spirit is at risk of narrowing, pitying, and turning into self-defense. Stoics, with their deep understanding of human nature, emphasize the principle of amor fati, the love of one's fate. Stoics teach that wisdom is knowing how to embrace the experiences of life and discerning what we can change. This means accepting that you cannot control the actions of those around you, only how you respond to them. Letting go of the need to correct others and instead focusing on cultivating your own inner garden is how you apply Stoic principles to our lives. Setting clear boundaries with those who drain your soul is about gently and firmly protecting your heart. It's realizing that, without being a fellow traveler on their turbulent journey, you can wish them well on their path. This is the essence of amor fati. When we trust that everyone must face their own battles and find the courage to let go with love, we free ourselves with our values and well-being. Remember, unlimited self-giving doesn't come freely. Tolerating emotional abuse or someone constantly undermining their well-being encourages us to practice discernment. You can accept a person's struggles without pulling the storm clouds into your own sky. Setting firm boundaries, or sometimes stepping away, is the most courageous act of self-preservation. Creating space to heal allows you to direct your valuable energy toward healthier relationships or nourish your own growth. True compassion extends to yourself, and sometimes the greatest kindness is acknowledging that prioritizing your inner peace is the best act of kindness. 6. Continuing harmful relationships. Loyalty is a virtue that can be as noble and unyielding as the strongest steel. However, when loyalty ties us to unhealthy relationships, It becomes a chain rather than a shield. Staying in relationships where mistreatment is ongoing is like drinking poison in the hope of being nourished. This is a silent martyrdom that leaves invisible but deeply felt wounds on the soul, slowly eroding it. Unnecessary loyalty leads one to feel like a ghost in their own life. Instead of living fully in the present, they wander in the corridors of what was or could have been. Enduring toxicity out of obligation feels like a heavy cloak that dampens the soul. Silent submission is the extinguishing of your inner light, a gradual retreat of your true self. For the sake of misplaced loyalty, your happiness becomes the result of constantly sacrificing yourself and suppressing your needs. Freedom of expression, the right to live a life full of respect and love, is denied. Despite the pain caused by past connections, imagine being honored for staying in a relationship you know is broken. Every encounter with this person leaves you feeling drained, criticized, and unappreciated. Still, you continue to stay, thinking that loyalty demands it, believing you're doing them a favor. This is a story many can relate to. The bonds that unite also have a narrowing effect. Loyalty is a commendable trait, but Stoicism reminds us that it must be guided wisely. When loyalty becomes synonymous with enduring emotional pain or mistreatment, it transforms into a weapon that pierces your soul. You tell yourself this is for the best, that family, love, or friendship requires this, but deep down, you know it's unsustainable. Stoicism teaches us that true freedom is not about external circumstances, but about our inner choices. Even if you're bound by the chains of loyalty, choosing to stay in toxicity is a gradual erosion of your inner freedom. It denies you the right to grow in environments that elevate rather than diminish you. Stoics offer a different perspective and teach us the principle of preferred indifference. We must adopt the idea that while some things are preferred, they should not disturb our inner peace. These relationships may be valuable, but they should not come at the cost of personal well-being. This is about understanding that true loyalty to others begins with loyalty to yourself. To embody this Stoic principle, consider setting boundaries that honor the respect you have for yourself. This may involve having an honest conversation, stepping back, or sometimes walking away. This is not an act of betrayal, but of self-preservation. For you and anyone facing a similar situation, it's about choosing paths that lead to growth and peace, rather than staying in roads that lead to shrinkage and chaos. This is the Stoic path, a pursuit of wisdom, courage, and a life freed from the chains of misplaced obligations. It is not about abandoning your loved ones. Stoicism advocates for healthy boundaries, even in the most complex relationships. This may mean limiting contact, having difficult conversations, or walking away in extreme circumstances. It is about prioritizing your mental health, not as an act of challenge, but as a deep act of self-respect. True loyalty is the kind that encourages growth and requires mutual respect from both sides. 7. Sacrificing your own dreams to support others. Life is like a grand theater stage. Each of us has a script filled with dreams and aspirations unique to our character. However, when we neglect our own dreams to support others, it feels like we're surrendering our script, allowing someone else to write the lines and direct the scenes. This is a subtle form of self-neglect, which gradually manifests as a louder whisper of, "What if?" Betraying yourself is realizing that the life you've lived for others, the roles you've played, no longer affect you. This is living in the background of someone else's story, and it wears you down. It leaves you with a costume that never truly fits, and a role that never resonates deeply. It's the feeling of putting yourself on hold, the ache of longing when you witness a bird in a cage with clipped wings at the tips of your fingers. The silent jealousy that aches in your heart reminds you of the dreams you put aside. Slowly your potential erodes. The spark that once urged you to pursue what you truly wanted fades away. Imagine that you love painting, and you envision a future around it. However, believing that your dreams can wait, you marry someone chosen by your family, do what they want, or study something you didn't choose. Days turn into years, and the canvases remain empty. Opportunities slip through your fingers, the ones you dreamed of but never painted. This starts to make you question the passion and purpose you once felt within you. Regret leaves a long shadow, a sharp reminder of the path you never took. Stoics taught us the principle of proesis, with their deep understanding of personal agency. They advocated that the only true thing over which we have complete control is our will. While supporting others is virtuous, they believed it should never come at the expense of our own will. For you, proesis means making a conscious choice to honor both your commitments to others and your own dreams. To practice Stoic wisdom, imagine setting aside special time each week for your personal projects, regardless of others' demands. This is about pursuing your dreams, defending your right to write your own script. For you and anyone who recognizes this sign in their life, it's about finding the courage to step into the spotlight of your own life, to live authentically and purposefully. This is the Stoic path, a journey of balance, where supporting others and chasing our own dreams do not exclude one another, but rather complement each other harmoniously. Never forget, your dreams are not selfish. They are an important part of the legacy you leave. A vibrant, fulfilled version of yourself becomes an even greater source of inspiration and support for those around you. As we journey through life's labyrinth, we weave threads of interaction, kindness, and support. But it's crucial to remember that the strength of the tapestry depends on the integrity of each individual thread. In order to give something to others, we must first be whole. Offering our essence without depleting ourselves not only allows us to survive, but to grow. Let us carry this balance with us. This wisdom always reminds us that, amid obligations and the art of life, we must be artists of our own well-being. If this message has resonated with you, stirred something in the depths of your heart, I invite you to join us by subscribing. Your support is the very passion that nourishes our journey together, and for that, I thank you wholeheartedly. Let's continue inspiring, growing, and discovering the beautiful balance that life asks of us. Thank you for being here, for listening to me, and for being part of this journey. Until next time, take care of yourselves, and remember, the deepest support we can offer is the love we give ourselves.